Hello, everyone, and welcome back. We're here for the 2023 Memorial Championship presented by Discraft. Second and final round that they'll play out here at the Fountain Hills Disc Golf Course. We've got co-leaders in Ohn Scoggins and Natalie Ryan. Also on the card, Anniken Steen and Maria Oliva. It's a Friday afternoon, late afternoon. In fact, they switched up the tee time, so rather than playing early on Friday morning, they're playing late on Friday afternoon. We're ready for the action. As I mentioned, Ohn Scoggins, one of your co-leaders here. She opened with a bogey-free 5 under. And unfortunately, her bogey-free weekend is currently in jeopardy with that tee shot going out of bounds. Natalie Ryan will play it much wider and more safe than we just saw from Ohn. And she's on top of the hill. Anniken Steen out of Norway. We saw her put her first one in the drink yesterday. Today, great correction. Just outside of circle 1. And full-time touring professional as well in Maria Oliva, originally out of Texas. Inside the circle.
That's why we don't argue anything. Just write that one right there. We from the concrete or from what? It's out here, right? From there, right? Or from here? Yeah,
Ohn getting her spot, confirming with the rest of the group after the spotter had placed her last inbounds near that flag. Great approach. Looks like her husband, Justin, is on the cart today. And Natalie's not going to mess with anything other than a layup as expected. Anniken, right off the bat, the birdie from circle 2. As you're hearing the afternoon winds pick up out here at Fountain Hills. Oliva from inside the circle, also trying to get a birdie on the board. Never a doubt. As Natalie taps in for par, Ohn is going to put a bogey on her scorecard. As I said, that's the first one this tournament. We head over to hole number 2, 703 feet. This is a par 5 for the women. Of course, the OB water on the left side, and then you see that string on the right side. That is actually out of bounds as well. See that palm tree as a great indicator, giving you about 12 meters from there to the pin.
Yeah, great shot.
I can't imagine that Anniken could ask for a better tee shot than that. Close to the water, but yet will have good footing, so we'll see how aggressive she wants to be on the second shot, but I think that's about as good as she could have asked for. Maria's going to go with a safer approach. Natalie also going up that right side and appears to be flirting with the OB line, but I think she's going to be safe or no? Spotter. Oh, no. So what ends up being less than a meter, I think, from finding inbounds. Natalie will be OB, throwing 3 from there. No reason to mess with the water's edge as Ohn's going to hang this out to the right side. Now, this does play as a par 5. We heard Jamie talk yesterday about how that feels about right. And speaking of Jamie, where is she? No, she didn't run from the commentary booth. It's just that it's 3:05 in the morning at the moment when I'm getting to this full edit and commentary. So Jamie and the FPO division along with the FP40 division all back to playing early on Saturday morning. So a 3 o'clock call time for commentary in the middle of the night wasn't too practical. We'll see if we can get her back, though, for one of the final 2 rounds. Here's Natalie after the OB stroke. And there is OB over there, but she's going to get the thumbs up. I think I'm going to share some of that Patreon support of mine and maybe go out and get this gentleman a pair of flags.
Thank you.
Well, it looks like he's
Yeah, yesterday I was
maybe got 1 or 2. Well, contemplation here. Does she want to go with the backhand or the forehand? And she's going to settle on the forehand. I like that play because less likely to bring any water into the equation. She's throwing over ground the entire way. That's a pitch up there. Natalie trying to walk away with a par when it's all said and done after the OB stroke. Fountain still going off. And you see just how much it's actually pushing. Normally it would be falling pretty straight down like we saw yesterday. Today, there is some wind here in the late afternoon hours. We'll see if it's much of a factor out here for our competitors. Couple of birdies by Steen and Oliva. And easy work for Scoggins as well. They're going to move over to hole number 3. (294 feet). That OB line on the right side. Feels like that's pushed in more this year than before. Might be more of a factor here during the throws on hole 3. I like the line, just not quite enough distance. Maria will have a look for birdie. You were hoping I could bust out some stats? Well, I'll do just that for you. pretty crazy to see that this played as over par on the day here on hole number 3. In fact, the 4th most difficult relative to par. And that's actually pretty shocking. Natalie now with back-to-back holes with OB strokes. Solid bid for Anniken. Of course, we saw her take down the PCS Sula Open last year, the Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event over there in Vestnes, Norway. Looking forward to getting back to Sula myself in that area this year. PCS crew, top notch. I don't just say that because they bring me some of the greatest snacks you could ever possibly enjoy. And of course, we're talking about Smash. And the laser from Ohn, too low. Natalie to save bogey. So off the mark, and now I guess maybe I am thinking about how this one racked up and played at 3.3. Well, Maria's in for the par, and there were exactly 0 birdies here in the FPO field during today's round. So I'm shocked by that. But now I do see how this play averaged over par. "23 women in the FPO division this year." We're going to move on to hole number 4 once Ohn gets her tap in. Hole 4, just 250 feet, but plays as an island green. You must land inside these placards in order to be inbounds. If you land anywhere outside of them, even if you fly directly over the island, you still go to the drop zone if you land outside of it. Oh, not enough power. That's going to be the first time I've seen anyone not hit the island in the 4 or 5 rounds of coverage we've already put out. Unfortunately, Anniken becomes the first. And Maria now becomes the second, just off the placard. Ohn trying to make light work of it. That should be parked. Natalie pushing left side, but checks up just fine. I do like that the drop zone is what I would consider makeable range. You know, sometimes a drop zone is so far out that you're essentially guaranteed the bogey. Here, with a good bid or a good line, you could possibly make the recovery, as we just saw Maria barely miss that one. Natalie comes into the event with a 960 rating. Highest rated woman in the entire tournament is your 2022 champion of the Memorial Championship. That is, of course, Ohn Scoggins, taking this down last year. She's rated 977. Maria, 946. And Anniken, 931. And we're going to roll down this hill on our Zuka cart. Hole number 5, 441 feet. If you crest the hill, you'll likely have this tree to contend with. You may find this landscaping here on the right-hand side that's also out of bounds. Of course, the road OB Deep is out of bounds. Big thanks to Zuka. As you know, they support disc golf on the Disc Golf Pro Tour level and even events internationally. What's really cool is they're getting into both pickleball and into bags. So you'll see them at some of the largest pickleball and bags tournaments as well. So yes, spreading the love to disc golf, and we know how much so many of our athletes are using them, but also plenty of other sports where Zuka carts can be utilized. Anniken right up the middle. Oliva's effort is low but safe. I'm trying to play out and around the tree. This basket is very close to the road, so you have to be careful with your speed coming in. Now the grass, a little bit longer, a little bit thicker there, but the basket is less than 15 feet from the road. You certainly need to watch that speed. That checks up just short of the road for Maria. Lots of sigh of relief out there.
Dang, almost.
Natalie just off the top. Have to think that this is one of the more difficult birdie gets, and that's exactly what I'm seeing here as I'm checking out the stats, thanks to our friends over at PDGA and PDGAlive.com. Owen's in for the par, and as I'm saying that, I'm also seeing that this is coming in as the second most difficult hole on the course. Played at .61 over par. And we didn't see any birdies by any of the 23 women in the division. 3 pars and a bogey. You're going to take a long walk over to hole number 5. Maybe even take your dog for a walk while you're at it. Want a big shout out and thanks to our friends over at the Distinguished Doodle. They tell us that they have the highest of all dog care standards currently on the market. FDA approved lab and manufacturing, all natural ingredients, and just overall great for your dog's health and skincare and coat. Eliminates odors with patented topical probiotics. So check out the distinguisheddoodle.com and just type in the code Disc Golf Guy, 20% off. I'm saving you money while you're watching disc golf. I don't know what's better than that.
Yep, I did it again. God damn.
And by again, I'm not sure if she did that in round 1, but that stuck in the tree over 6 feet 6 inches. So that's going to be a penalty added to Natalie's scorecard, and she'll be throwing from directly beneath where the disc is. Let's see what route Anniken takes. So she's going to go with the lefty hyzer. I thought she might try and punch the small gap, but goes up and over everything.
Nice and yesterday. Yeah. Yesterday we were like next to each other.
So in the scenario when you're 6 feet 6 inches or above, and that rule is in effect. Now, by default, it's not. If the tournament deems it in effect, then you are assessed a penalty. You play it directly below where the disc is. Wherever that might be, you pretend as if you're pulling it straight down to the ground from that spot, and you play it from there with penalty. Solid putt for Anniken. Little deliberation, gets all set up, and Maria, bottom of the basket, picks up the birdie. And you see the wind really picking up with the flags in the background. You can hear it as well. It's not dealing with the frigid temperatures that they had in the morning time yesterday, but they are dealing with some additional wind, and that's a 3-stroke difference for everyone on the card to Natalie Ryan. Huge swing there. We're going to swing on over to hole 7, 210 feet. Most players will go with a low shot, just trying to get underneath that tree branch, trying to stay over land the entire way. That's the most common route. Occasionally see people get creative and go out over the water on the left side, usually with a forehand or possibly a lefty. And that one slowed down by the tree. I'm not sure that really helped her. I think that had a really good speed on it otherwise. And that's going to check up nicely. Looked like it was coming in just a bit hot. Anniken out in circle 2, 11 or 12 meters away. And that gets hung up for Natalie. think that was a half chicken wing charade there, giving us a little bit of the indicator that she was afraid to go for it. I don't think anyone's going to second guess that decision. From that distance to this peninsula green, this early still in the tournament, not really a reason to throw away strokes or press anything that just might not be there. A rare missed putt from Ohn. Five birdies out of the 23 women. Unfortunately, none on this card, though. They're moving over to the par 4, hole number 8. 570 feet. Trying to get, if you can crest this hill, here or beyond, gives you a look at the basket out on the peninsula. We play 3 consecutive peninsula holes, 7, 8, and 9 off in the distance there. All 3 of those play out to the peninsula or various peninsulas. Ohn likes it. She get a skip? Yes. Every bit of that skip is going to help her, give her a better look and a better angle to the basket. You'd love to not only crest the hill, but the more you push to the left, I think you have more angles to the pin. Whether you want a forehand onto the peninsula or backhand, just opens things up. Green flag, but that high right side, we'll see what kind of angle she has from there. Ohn sticking it on the peninsula. Appreciate all the feedback and support we got for our opening round action. We're going to try and give you all 4 rounds here of the FPO action. Also had multiple NPO cards we released from day 1. You'll see day 2 MPO lead and chase cards as Natalie checks up inbounds. Also, we are covering some MP40 action. That's going to release consecutive days following the tournament's completion. Just not enough hours in the day to also get that edited and released for you guys. And that looked to be a good tree branch. Not any medal for Natalie here on the birdie bid. Again, not hating on that play at all. I think it's very smart. It's probably a little bit frustrating for her. I could understand that, but smart play. Maria. There's only been 1 birdie on this hole today. Chelsea Howells. Well, let's make that 2. Husband Justin getting in position for a nice picture here. Ohn would like to put a birdie on her scorecard as well. And she'll do just that. So Maria and Ohn, along with Chelsea, are the only 3 birdies on this hole today. And speaking of supporting my Patreon, you can do so, patreon.com/thediscgolfguy. Make sure you check it out. That's how we're able to bring you so much coverage. I see a few more of you have signed up. I just simply can't thank you enough. That and shop.thediscgolfguy.com. Ways you can support the efforts and Ohn finding the red flag here on the tee of 9. This is an aggressive shot by Maria. It checks up. She's got a birdie look on 9. Yesterday, we saw Anniken park it, going out over the water, sticking the landing with the lefty backhand. And she does it again. Not quite as close. Still a good shot. And Natalie pretty much matches the effort we saw from Maria.
Yeah, mine was
Yours was like, okay, nice try.
As they were comparing them. Ohn is going to lay up.
Maybe it's too far. It's alright. Yeah, it's real full.
Justin quick with the stick, but maybe not enough of it.
No, it's what?
safe, I think. I think it's safe. If it's on the concrete, it's in. In? Oh, it is. Nice.
The roller coaster of emotions when you're putting out here on the peninsula. Natalie from just inside the circle.
Yeah, it's a good putt.
Great putt. So I'll ask you, I'll beg you. I won't demand it, but like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Leave a comment. I'm always promising and dishing out that double G jerky.
No, just said.
You guys, that's what you need to tell me. What's your favorite flavor of the double G jerky? You hear me talk about it all the time. You guys already know hot boom sauce is my favorite, and that's where it's at. You can find that on my website. We're watching Maria. She'll join Natalie. Just 5 birdies out of the 23 women. Her and Natalie, 2 of them. And as promised, we're going to have the back 9 action coming to you out here at Fountain Hills. Then they'll move over to Vista for rounds 3 and 4. Any day you're watching disc golf with Ohn Scoggins on the card is a good day in my book. So thank you for tuning in. Ohn currently out in the lead, 2 strokes over Maria. She's got a little cushion between her and Natalie, along with Anniken and Jen Allen. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll see you in the back 9. Disc Golf Guy signing out.